I always thought betrayal would come like a thunderclap, loud, violent, impossible to miss. But when it arrived, it was a whisper, soft, calculated, and delivered with a smile. We were at the rehearsal dinner. The air buzzed with laughter, clinking glasses, and the kind of joy that only comes when everyone you love is in one room. My fiancée, Julia, looked stunning, radiant in a way that made the future feel full of promise. And then there was Travis, my best friend since college. He'd been through everything with me: breakups, job losses, hangovers, family drama. He was going to be my best man. At least, that's what he promised. He stood to give a toast. I raised my glass, ready for a roast, a memory, a few laughs. But instead, he said this: "To the woman who changed my life, who made me believe in love again." There was a pause. People chuckled, assuming he was practicing for my wedding speech. Then he turned, eyes locked on Julia, and added, "I should have told you this a long time ago, but I'm in love with you." Everything around me disappeared. The silverware stopped clinking. The laughter died. My heart, my reality, slammed to the floor and shattered. And that was just the beginning. I sat there frozen, gripping my champagne glass so tightly I thought it might shatter in my hand. Julia didn't say anything. Her eyes widened, but it wasn't fear. It was guilt. Travis, cool as ever, gave a crooked smile like he'd just pulled off the world's cleverest prank. But there was no punchline, no laughter, just silence. I wanted to yell, demand answers, anything to break that unbearable stillness. Instead, I whispered, "Is this a joke?" He looked right at me and said, "It should have been me, Nathan. You know it. She knows it." My stomach twisted. I stood up, the chair screeching back so hard it startled half the room. Julia reached out, but I pulled away. Her hand hung in the air, trembling. In my head, the memory started flashing like a projector caught on a loop. Travis dropping by unannounced more than usual lately. Julia laughing harder at his jokes than mine. The whispered conversations that stopped when I entered the room. I thought they were just close. He was my best friend. She was my fiancée. I never thought I needed to worry about them both, but now, every moment felt like a red flag I had ignored. I didn't sleep that night. I just stared at the ceiling, watching shadows crawl across the walls as the minutes dragged by. Julia was in the next room. I had asked her to leave, but she didn't. She just cried, silently. Around 3 a.m., I finally broke. I knocked on the bedroom door. She opened it, eyes swollen and red. I didn't even have to ask. "It happened once," she whispered, "a long time ago, before he got engaged." My throat clenched. I wanted to scream. Instead, I asked, "And after that? Was it really just once?" She hesitated. That moment, that pause, answered the question for me. I turned away. I didn't want to hear any more lies wrapped in half-truths. The next morning, Travis texted me, "I'm sorry, but I couldn't let her marry you without knowing how I feel." I stared at the screen, wondering if he truly believed he was the hero in this twisted love story. He stole my trust. He stole my future. And somehow, he still thought he was doing the right thing. I decided to confront Travis, not through text, not over the phone, face to face. I found him at our usual Friday spot, the corner cafe where we always caught up. The moment he saw me, his face twisted. Was it guilt, regret, or just the panic of getting caught? I couldn't tell. "Nathan, bro." I cut him off. "You don't get to call me that anymore." He immediately went into defense mode. "You were never right for her. I always thought so, and clearly she saw it too." My heart didn't ache anymore. It burned. "You were my best friend," I said. "You stole my trust, my fiancé, my future." In that moment, I realized this wasn't just betrayal. It was decay of character. As I walked out, everyone in the cafe stared. Let them. He was no longer a friend, just a ghost of the past. After that confrontation, you'd think I'd feel some kind of closure, but I didn't. The silence that followed was louder than any shouting match. Madison didn't try to explain. She didn't call, didn't text. It was like I had ceased to exist in their shared little world. For weeks, I replayed everything in my head, every date, every time she smiled at me. Was she already looking past me, to him? The betrayal wasn't just about losing her. It was about losing the truth of what we had. I couldn't help but wonder, was I just a placeholder, someone to keep her warm until something better or more convenient came along? The worst part wasn't even the heartbreak. It was the self-doubt, the shame, the realization that I didn't see any of it coming. And every time I saw a couple laughing at a coffee shop or holding hands at the park, I flinched. Because for the first time in my life, I didn't trust love anymore. A month passed. Just when I thought things couldn't get more surreal, I received a letter in the mail. It was thick, cream-colored, with gold embossing. I already knew what it was before I opened it. A wedding invitation from Jake and Madison. Jake even added a note. "Would still love for you to be there, man. Hope we can get past this." I laughed. I actually laughed out loud, alone in my apartment. He wanted me. The man she left behind, the friend he betrayed, to attend their fairy tale ending. Was it arrogance, delusion, or just one last slap in the face? I took the card, folded it in half, and tossed it in the trash. Not out of rage, just exhaustion. I had no space left inside me for their drama. No more pieces of myself to give to people who saw me as disposable. That moment, that quiet rejection of their invitation, felt more like freedom than revenge. Life didn't magically fix itself. There was no movie-style comeback moment, just silence, the noise of betrayal, anger, heartbreak. It finally began to fade. I went back to work, started therapy, stopped blaming myself for trusting people I shouldn't have. Every now and then, I'd pass by the old bar we used to hang out at, where Jake once toasted to my engagement, where Madison laughed like she meant it. Those memories still stung, but they no longer defined me. I deleted every photo, every chat, every trace of them from my life. It wasn't erasing history. It was reclaiming my present. Sometimes healing isn't loud. It's not dramatic. It's the quiet realization that you're no longer waiting for an apology. It's been a year now, a whole year since Jake betrayed me, since Madison made her choice, since my world was flipped upside down. And yet, here I am, still standing. I no longer wonder why. I no longer question how it all went so wrong, because I realized something important. Their choices were never about me. Their lies, their selfishness, that was all them. I've moved to a new apartment, made new friends, even went on a couple of dates. Trust comes slow, but peace. Peace came the moment I stopped waiting for closure from people incapable of giving it. Jake and Madison may still be together, or not. Honestly, I don't care, because I didn't lose anything worth keeping. I lost illusions, and in return, I gained clarity. If you're out there listening to this, if you've ever been betrayed like I was, just know you can rebuild. You can rise. You don't need them to heal. You only need you.